substance abuse, right. It's linked to, like, more deaths and hospitalizations than, well, anything else. I mean, any other public health threat, really.
Wow.
It's pretty sobering when you think about it.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to unpack today.
Okay.
We're doing a deep dive into a section from this text on addiction, really focusing on, like some recent trends and some theories behind what causes it.
Interesting.
Get this. Okay. There's been a big drop in prescription opioid misuse.
Oh, wow.
But at the same time, there's this, like, surprising uptick in something else.
Oh.
I know, right?
Mm.
So first up, let's talk about Healthy People 2030.
Oh, yeah.
We heard about this.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so this initiative, it gets updated every decade, sets these ambitious goals for national health.
Right.
They want to create environments where everyone can thrive.
I like that.
Eliminate disparities.
Yeah.
Really improve our lives overall.
Yeah.
But there's a whole section specifically focused on substance abuse,
Sure.
aiming to reduce both addiction itself and the misuse of substances.
Got it.
I mean, it's a major priority, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, when you think about it, substance use disorders are often tied to so many other problems.
Yeah.
A cascade of health problems.
Right.
And like we said, it's a leading cause of death in the U.S.
Yeah.
And it's especially it's alarming with this recent spike in opioid-related deaths.
Oh, yeah?
That's where initiatives like Healthy People 2030 come in,
Right.
trying to tackle this head on.
Mm-hmm.
They're using data from the National Survey on Drug Use and Health.
Right.
So they can kind of get a picture of what's happening across the country.
Yeah, and some of the findings, they're actually pretty surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what?
So the good news, right? Prescription opioid misuse has actually decreased across all age groups.
Oh, wow, that's great.
I know.
It's really good to hear.
And heroin use, especially among young adults, it's declining too.
That's great.
Plus, there's been this increase in people seeking out medication-assisted treatment.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Because it's a really effective approach.
Oh, for sure.
But then there are some trends that are a bit more concerning.
Yeah. You're going to have that, right?
Right.
It's kind of like, well, there's progress in some areas.
Yeah.
New challenges kind of emerge.
Yeah.
It's like this constant push and pull requiring us to, adapt our strategies for prevention and intervention.
Totally. Like the rise in methamphetamine use among older adults.
Wow. Yeah, you don't think about that as much.
I know.
Yeah.
I found that really unexpected. And an increase in serious mental illness among young people, it just paints this, like, complex picture with both,
Sure.
positive and negative developments.
Yeah.
Makes you kind of wonder what's driving these shifts.
Yeah, it really highlights, I think, the need for, ongoing research and adaptable strategies.
Right.
Like if we become complacent, when we see positive trends, we risk losing ground.
Totally.
As the situation evolves.
For sure.
And we need to remember, this impact extends far beyond just individual health.
It's a ripple effect, right?
Yeah.
Impacts families, communities,
Absolutely.
even the nation's economy.
It really shows how multifaceted this issue is.
Yeah. And the cost is astronomical.
Yeah.
We already said, it's linked to more deaths and hospitalizations than any other public health issue.
Right.
But substance abuse contributes to a staggering 668,000 deaths every single year.
That's a lot.
In the U.S. alone.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's really a sobering figure.
Yeah.
Reminding us of just how big this problem is. And it's not just illicit drugs contributing to these numbers.
Ready for this?
Yeah.
94% of those deaths are from legal drugs.
Oh, wow.
I know.
That's kind of shocking.
Yeah.
It really changes how you think about it.
Yeah.
When you think about what's considered dangerous when it comes to substance use,
Yeah.
It really it emphasizes that we need a broad approach to prevention and education and addressing all types of substances, not just, the illegal ones, because ultimately these consequences, they go far beyond just mortality.
Oh, absolutely. We're talking increases in teen pregnancy.
Oh, right.
The spread of, infectious diseases like HIV, hepatitis C.
Right.
a rise in violence, accidents, and of course, a huge impact on mental health.
Yeah.
It's this like chain reaction of consequences that can be devastating for,
It really can.
individuals, families, and entire communities.
Yeah, which is why,
Yeah.
you have to address substance abuse
Yeah.
with like a holistic strategy.
Right.
One that, recognizes and tackles these interconnected issues.
Yeah.
You can't just treat one symptom
Right.
without acknowledging the whole system at play.
Right. Totally.
Now, this text that we're diving into, it also explores different theories about what causes addiction.
Okay. Yeah.
Specifically, it focuses on something called the socio-ecological theory.
Okay. It sounds like it's looking at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Instead of just individual factors.
Absolutely.
But before we jump into that, I kind of want to hear from you.
Yeah.
What stood out to you so far? Are there any statistics or trends that you find particularly striking?
Yeah.
Take a moment to reflect.
Okay.
And we'll be right back to unravel this socio-ecological theory together.
Sounds good. It's easy to get, caught up in the numbers and all that.
Yeah.
But behind every statistic, it's a human life.
Right.
Affected by substance abuse.
It's a powerful reminder.
Yeah.
It really is.
For sure.
And that brings us to this socio-ecological theory
that
we were talking about before the break.
Right.
It sounds kind of complex.
Yeah. It can be a little bit.
So help me out here.
Okay.
How does it, explain what causes addiction?
Well, think of it like this.
Okay.
Instead of focusing just on the individual, it looks at the bigger picture.
Right.
All these social and environmental influences that can, contribute to substance use.
Okay.
It's like a tapestry.
Okay.
With all these individual threads representing a person's, genetics, personality, mental health.
Right.
But those threads are woven into a larger fabric.
Okay.
So to really understand addiction, we need to consider all the layers of that fabric.
All the layers? Okay, so walk me through these layers.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of things are we talking about?
Well, so, at the individual level, you have things like, genetics, personal experiences, mental health conditions.
Right.
That can make someone more vulnerable to substance abuse. But then you zoom out to the relationship level, considering family dynamics, peer influence, social support networks.
Right.
All of these can play a significant role.
Yeah. I mean, because our relationships really shape our behaviors.
They do.
For better or for worse.
Absolutely.
It's like the people we surround ourselves with can influence our choices.
Exactly.
Right.
But it doesn't stop there.
Okay.
The next layer is the community level.
Community level.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, things like access to healthcare.
Right.
Educational opportunities. And even the physical environment. Are there safe spaces for recreation? Are drugs easily accessible?
That makes sense.
All these community factors contribute to that overall risk.
So even things like community infrastructure and resources can actually influence substance use patterns. That's fascinating.
It really broadens the scope of what we need to consider.
Yeah.
And finally, you have the outermost layer of this theory.
Okay.
Which is the societal level.
Societal level.
Yeah, this encompasses things like cultural norms, public policies, and even media messages.
Interesting.
These broader forces really shape our attitudes towards substance use and influence our choices.
It's like we're constantly bombarded with messages about substances.
Yeah, you are.
Whether it's, alcohol being glamorized in movies or certain drugs being heavily stigmatized. Those messages have to have some kind of impact.
They do. They influence our perceptions and behaviors.
Yeah.
So, the socio-ecological theory argues that we can't just focus on, treating the individual if we want to effectively address addiction.
Okay.
We need to consider all these layers and develop interventions that target multiple levels simultaneously.
So it's like a multi-pronged approach.
Exactly.
Tackling the issue from every angle.
Yeah, like a 360 approach.
I like it.
Yeah.
What would that look like in practice?
Well, for example, right?
Yeah.
At the individual level, we might offer, counseling and medication-assisted treatment, which can help manage, withdrawal symptoms and cravings.
Right.
But at the community level, we might work on creating safe spaces for youth,
Okay.
improving access to healthcare,
Mm-hmm.
or implementing, stricter regulations
Right.
on the sale of certain substances. And at the societal level,
Yeah.
maybe public awareness campaigns
Uh-huh.
that could challenge harmful norms
Right.
and promote healthy behaviors.
So instead of just focusing on the individual,
Right.
we're looking at the bigger picture and
Yeah.
addressing the
The root causes. Yeah.
at each level.
At each level.
It's a much more comprehensive approach.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that addiction is complex.
Yeah.
With roots in, individual
Yeah.
community
Mm-hmm.
and societal factors.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this theory so valuable.
Yeah.
It provides this framework for understanding that multifaceted nature of addiction.
Right.
And then developing solutions that go beyond just treating the symptoms.
So we're not just zooming in on the individual.
Exactly.
But considering this entire ecosystem.
The whole ecosystem.
That influences their behavior.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And by taking this broader perspective, we can develop more effective strategies.
Right.
For prevention, treatment,
Yeah.
and ultimately create a healthier society.
Right.
Where addiction has less of a grip.
I like that.
This theory, it really makes you think about your own community, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
It makes you kind of wonder, what are those factors in my community that might be contributing to substance use?
Exactly.
What are the strengths that we can build upon?
Absolutely.
And where do we need to intervene?
Yeah, where do we step in?
It feels like we're shifting from just
understanding the problem.
To
actually exploring solutions.
To actually exploring solutions.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. It's like we've uncovered this whole new way of thinking about addiction.
Yeah.
It's not just about, individual choices.
Right.
It's this complex interplay of factors at these, different levels.
Yeah. And that's where resources like Healthy People 2030 come in, right?
Oh, right. Yeah.
They're great.
They provide, an incredible roadmap, I feel like.
They do.
Packed with, data and goals and strategies.
Totally.
That communities can use to actually create change.
Absolutely.
It's not just about understanding the problem anymore. It's about, actually finding solutions.
Exactly.
Healthy People. 2030 seems like a good place to start.
Yeah, it's a really amazing starting point.
For sure.
And you know what they say?
What's that?
Knowledge is power.
Mm-hmm.
The more we understand these trends, these theories,
right,
the better equipped we are
to
actually make a difference.
This whole conversation's been really eye-opening for me.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
A bit inspiring, too.
Oh, good.
It's easy to feel, overwhelmed by the statistics and the complexity of it all.
Sure.
But I'm walking away, I don't know, I'm feeling hopeful.
I agree. There's no denying,
Yeah.
There's work to be done.
Yeah.
But, understanding the problem.
Yeah.
From this socio-ecological perspective.
Right.
Investing in, prevention and treatment. Working together as individuals and communities.
Right.
I think it all points toward a healthier future.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
So as we're, wrapping up our deep dive into addiction, I think the biggest takeaway for me is, we're all interconnected.
We are. Totally.
The choices we make, the environments we create,
Yes.
the policies we support.
Absolutely.
They all contribute.
They all feed into it.
To this, landscape of substance use.
Yeah.
I
think that's a good way to put it.
It's a powerful reminder that we all have a role to play.
We do.
Think about your own, sphere of influence.
Yeah, your little corner of the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Your family.
Right.
Your workplace.
Your community.
Your community.
Even small actions.
Right.
Like promoting awareness, supporting healthy choices.
Yeah.
Advocating for change.
Absolutely.
I mean, those things can have, a ripple effect.
They can, for sure.
It's about recognizing that individual actions, when they're, combined with
collective effort,
it can really make a difference.
Absolutely.
So thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
Until next time.
Yeah.
Stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged.
I like that.